Alright, guys, let's talk about it. Some Walking Dead, talking about it. What's going on? My PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters. We'll just wait for it to connect and where the YouTube and everything to connect for us to get rolling here. November 28th, 2021, coming at you. Alright, wait for us to connect here a little bit, but I hope that you guys are doing well on this Sunday, November 28th, 2021. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. I know I had a live stream last week. It was pre-Thanksgiving. Now it's post-Thanksgiving. Hopefully you had a good time. If you traveled somewhere, if you stayed home, if you had relatives, if you took it easy. Hopefully it was a good holiday for you. Now, I have watched Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 8, and The World Beyond Season 2, the series finale. We'll talk about that in the last half hour, maybe a little 35 minutes or so, because it's a lot to unpack. But ultimately, guys, we're going to talk about the Walking Dead universe as a whole. Walking Dead stuff, there's been some filming recently that we post videos, and I would assume if you're in the chat, if you're checking out the videos here on the replay, you've seen my other videos because you've seen the latest things about the Walking Dead universe, the filming news, Fear the Walking Dead stuff, World Beyond, talking a little bit about it. Overall, I haven't really seen too much support for the World Beyond, and that's okay because it's just not gripping to draw people in. It's one of those things where the show has to make you watch the story, the characters. It just, do you really care about the characters? And for a lot of people, no. A lot of stuff. It's definitely some stuff that we've seen The Walking Dead, then Fear the Walking Dead, World Beyond, and then where's it going to go from there too. So thank you guys for joining me. I truly appreciate it. What's up, Mike, Negan1, Niels, Kami, Sin, Lindsay, Rob, Jeannie, and the rest of the people are joining now. I can see the chat. The top chat is finally coming around. I don't know what the delay was, but hopefully you've seen the episodes. If you haven't, again, last half hour, we will talk about the World Beyond series as a whole. Well, we'll talk about the series as a whole before we get to it there. We'll talk about the latest and last episode of The Walking Dead World Beyond. I'm kind of glad it's over, but the way it ended, it just is kind of much to be desired. Fear the Walking Dead Season 7 is going strong. So, Season 7, Episode 7 is this week on AMC. It was last week on AMC Plus, and this week on AMC Plus is the mid-season finale, Season 7, Episode 8. So we'll talk about that in the last half hour, like I said. But overall, Season 7 feels like it's a hodgepodge of stuff. I don't know why the writing seemed so good in Season 6, and so far it hasn't felt that great in Season 7, but overall, Fear the Walking Dead, and I said it jokingly in my recent review of Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 8, I called it the Discount Dead. It's like a discounted version of The Walking Dead. It's a clearance version of The Walking Dead. It's just not that captivating, interesting, just written. And the stuff they've done on Fear the Walking Dead so far just seems like a rehash of stuff that we've seen already in the Walking Dead universe. So are they writing... When you see stuff on Fear the Walking Dead, are they writing it because it's familiar to us, we know it, we've seen it, and we kind of appreciate it? Or is it lazy writing? Or is it both? I don't know what happened with that. I don't know. I'm not a writer on the show, so I don't know what's going to be talking about it from their standpoint, but I just see the writing as they're just rehashing stuff that we've already seen in a way that just seems to me is a little lazy. It's just they're not reinventing any of the wheel, and when they try to reinvent stuff, like having Martha as a villain, it just wasn't that great. It's just not like what were you trying to do previous seasons. But overall, so The World Beyond, if you watch it this Sunday or next Sunday, whenever you get to watch the series finale of The World Beyond, it's 20 episodes, and it's just, I don't know. It's just something that it never really satisfied me as a viewer enough to be like, wow, that was a great 2-season show. It just seems like it was a money grab, a cash grab, to continue on with the story in a way that is going to have the fans like if you're a Walking Dead fan, you're watching World Beyond. I doubt you would catch the World Beyond unless you're a Walking Dead fan, right? Too. So yeah, I see some people talking about the red beanie. I'm doing it for a reason, because of the World Beyond is definitely something that stuff happens there. Fear of the Walking Dead, it kind of connects as well, and so we'll talk about that in about 25 minutes. So hopefully, guys, you had a good holiday. Thanksgiving was on Thursday. It was just my wife and I and the 2 cats, and we had a good time. Friday I worked. Saturday I've been doing stuff around the house. I did a lot of online shopping, and stuff's been coming from Amazon like pretty frequently in the mornings too. Like I wake up and stuff was delivered at like 8 in the morning. So I did some work on my new car that I got. It's not a new car, but it's a new car to me. So I put in a new intake to a K&N intake filter and system, and it's the install was a little rough. It took some time, and we made it through it. And so I test drove it today, and everything is so good so far as well. But yeah, it's a crazy thing that the World Beyond is over. Fear of the Walking Dead season 7 is over now. So it's something that, what are we going to do now for the rest of the year? The whole month of December, hopefully we get a trailer for the second part of The Walking Dead. Hopefully we get a trailer for Fear the Walking Dead, the second part of season 7. Hopefully we get some news about the Rick movies. I would love to see a preview special. I don't know if we're ever going to get one of those, but I believe Talking Dead is back tonight on AMC, which is kind of good because that's always cool to see some inside stuff. And I can't remember the last time I watched Talking Dead, because it could have been maybe the first episode of season 7. I know when Fear the Walking Dead is the main show, and World Beyond, I guess too, they don't really have the Talking Dead for it. When Walking Dead's on, they pretty much always have Talking Dead, except with 2020 and the stuff with that. They usually have a thing that connects the shows. There's more content, people watch it, people are just more interested in it too. So ultimately, we're going to see what happens with the future of The Walking Dead, because next year, 2022, is the final season of The Walking Dead. Well, 2 parts. So I don't know if they're going to film a little bit more for The Walking Dead. Traditionally, they film all the way to Thanksgiving, like right before it. I think the Wednesday before it, and then they're done for the year. So, but now, I believe they're in the 3rd and final part of The Walking Dead. It could be episode like 18 or 19. I don't know. But the way I think about it is we're going to have, 3 parts of 8. So that's 8, 8, and 8, which is 24 episodes. So if they're about episode 19, let's just say, you'll have 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So you get 5 episodes left. And that usually they can film an episode in 2 weeks. So Monday through Friday, which is 10 days. So if they're going to be back in January, February, and March, that's 4, 8, 12. That's 12 weeks on an average span of 2 weeks per episode. That's 6 episodes, what you would think they could film, which they're right on track for that about that time. So maybe the last episode's a little bit longer. I would hope so. They go out with a bang. They set things up. But so far, I don't know. It just really doesn't feel like the Walking Dead universe is ending. I think, and we kind of know, guys, they love to stretch it out, really take it as far as they can, just make it last as long as they can, make that catch grab. It just, I don't know. Like, I just don't know what it was. Che0212K, what was the connection to Fear? I don't know. I after watching the World Beyond season 2 finale, which is the series finale, I don't know, what the connection was. I know Matthew Negretti, the showrunner for for the World Beyond, said there's going to be a connection with Fear the Walking Dead, and I don't know what it was. I know there's a connection and kind of several connections with The Walking Dead, but that's not Fear the Walking Dead. I don't know what it was after watching it. I might have to, I guess, watch it again. But ultimately, again, we'll talk about that in 20 minutes. So we'll talk about the series finale. But overall, the World Beyond series just doesn't do anything for the show. It does connect the universe a little bit. We get some new characters, which is kind of cool, but they didn't really do anything that great to be like, wow. Like, is any character on the World Beyond somebody's favorite character? I don't know, right? So, but when Jadis came back around, that connected the Walking Dead universe with the World Beyond. And that was kind of the biggest connection besides the Civic Republic military, which is kind of what the show was supposed to be. When you thought of the World Beyond, I know I kind of thought they're going to expand on the world of the CRM. We're going to find out about the military, the helicopters, the government aspect. It just makes some sort of sense. We were hoping there was going to be a connection with Rick. Like Rick may even show up, or they talk about Rick or mention Rick. And there's been limited, minimal connections for it. And then mainly has to do with Jadis coming around, which is kind of cool. But again, it's not enough to really draw people in to watch the show. People probably go on YouTube and find out what it is there, and they know and they stay up to date. Lincoln says, Q&A, how are you doing with the PT merch, etc.? I know we discussed a few things before, but I've read a few things that peeps want some more PT stuff. Yeah, Lincoln, I haven't come up with anything. I've been so busy with full-time home health PT job, house stuff, holiday stuff, now car stuff, house stuff, pet stuff, writing in 100 Days, Part 3. I'm on Chapter 4, I believe now. So I wrote 3.5 chapters. It'll probably be the 18 chapters like it's been. But it's coming along, and it's getting there. So we're getting there. I just don't have the time to come up with shirts or hats or anything, even though I would love to. And I don't know if there's that much of a demand for it, but that's somewhere down the road I would like to make that stuff a shirt. So yeah, Mike, I would I would like to be a therapist for sure, but I got enough going on. Neil says, how's the microwave? Well, the microwave was good. I brought it up last live stream that our microwave blew out last Thursday. The guy came Friday, diagnosed what the problem was, couldn't fix it until the next week. Was going to come Monday, but nobody was going to be here, so they came Tuesday, and it was Tuesday morning. He fixed it in less than 15 minutes, and it works great. We've been using it all week, so yeah, it's pretty good. Thank you for asking, but it worked, and it just because you pay for the guy to come out, and he does the diagnostic work, which is a flat fee. He was there for half hour. Then he comes back with the part. The labor was less than an hour. It was 15 minutes. And I paid, over $200 some, we'll say, to get it fixed, but it's cheaper than getting a new microwave and getting it installed and doing that. So, but it should be good for sure. Chi 0212K says, PT, the connection has to be when Denise talked about Buddy in the cabin that went rogue. Can't that be Isabel? I don't know, I guess. Like, I just don't know what... There just wasn't a thing that says anything that jumps out from the Walking Dead World Beyond to Fear the Walking Dead. Like, if Dennis knew Isabel, or if Dennis mentioned the name Isabel, that she was MIA and she was doing this and doing that, then we would kind of know, right? It just made more sense if it was spelled out for us. It's kind of annoying when stuff isn't really explained in a way. Like there's no problem if something's hinting at it, beating around the bush, clues, this, that, little things. And then they explain it more. But all if there are little breadcrumbs and little explanations and little things and just nothing really great, it's annoying, right? So Colton says, Bri got two eyes. Yeah, I do. It's one eye, Bri, like the letter I. Not the eyeball is how it goes. But Mike Allen says, how about a Fight for Us logo t-shirt? I had a couple of those. I might have a couple left in the house actually somewhere. I'll show them next time. But I was thinking about doing something like that. I know I've been using a different thing. So the supplier of the PT stuff, said they send it out too. So Lindsay Robb says, we need a PT channel t-shirt with Fear the Red on it and a red lantern. That's kind of cool. I guess it would be for the people who buy into the red theory, but or like red theory instead of like orange theory, like red theory and like a red lantern. If it was red theory, that'd be kind of funny. I guess it would be an inside joke, but it'd be kind of cool. So my take on The World Beyond, without spoiling the series finale, is that it feels like a big waste of time. It feels like they didn't explain enough for us that we feel like, wow, like that's good. That's exciting. I'm ready to see where this goes. It's like, and I liked Elton. Hope and Iris are okay. Silas grew on me. Huck definitely grew on me. Huck was really annoying at the beginning, especially the way she talked. I liked Felix. Will was a very minor character. Dr. Bennett, minor character. And that's the main people. Dr. Bennett or Elizabeth Kubelik, nothing that great in my eyes. And then they bring Jadis in and it changes things up. Dr. Belshaw, okay character. Percy was a good character, but very minor. Percy's uncle, good character, very minor. We never, get to meet Major General Beale at all. All he is a name. We know he has a son, Mason Beale, and that's it. I'm guessing he's going to be the villain for the movies. And I know there's been a lot of people saying that the movies aren't happening and this isn't happening. Well, until the Walking Dead people like Gimple and Kirkman and whoever, they say that this stuff's not going to happen, then it's not going to happen. But I think it's going to. There's a rumor going around and some potential news that somebody posted somewhere on Twitter or someplace that kind of spread like a bunch of places, and a bunch of people sent it to me on social media. So I made a video. I made a video about it, and it's talking about there's people talking about around in Sonoy in Georgia that they're talking about the first Rick Grimes movie, RG1, Rick Grimes 1, and that he is going to come back into Georgia. They're going to film in Georgia early next year. They're going to film for 3 months. And they'll knock out the first movie. But then they also say in the same thing that they were talking about Andrew Lincoln couldn't fly to the States because of the travel ban. But there's been tons of people that can travel all over the country. Like Andrew Lincoln was just in Barbados a couple weeks ago. So he was flying to Barbados. It's not like he swam there, right? He was in Canada filming something for Netflix, I believe. Australia, he filmed Penguin Bloom. I don't know if that was in the heart of the pandemic or right before it or what. And various people have flown all over the country and all over the world to film movies. I know Mark Wahlberg had to fly from California to the UK to film one of his movies, basically in the pandemic. I know he and Tom Holland, I believe, filmed I'm blanking on the video game movie, but he was filming that. I don't know exactly where they filmed, but people got to travel and film all the time. So I don't think the ban is a thing for that. It's an excuse. It's a way out. It's a cop out. It's something that you can just say. So, yeah, exactly. The Beaver says Lenny James and Grace are from the UK and they were filming in Texas. So did they not fly home before the pandemic and they just stayed here? I don't know. Pollyanna McIntosh is Scottish, so I don't know if she lives in the UK. Uncharted, thank you, Rob K. Uncharted movie. So they filmed there, so I don't know exactly where they filmed it, but I'm sure it was in different locations, and probably somewhere in Europe for a lot of those places. So that's just my take on that. I don't know exactly how it goes down, but I would like to, and I've always thought, and I've always said this, you can go back and check the tapes, that I believe the plan is, and is now currently, they were going to film the Rick Grimes movie, or movies, if they're going to go back to back to back and try and knock out a bunch of the movies in there, and film in the early part of 2022. Some people were hoping and thinking 2021, they were supposed to film this spring. I believe Andrew Lincoln said early spring or late summer is what they were going to film. Did they film the movie already in secret? It would be pretty incredible if they actually pulled that off. They could have. If they film at the studio, they can do that. But if Andrew Lincoln was in town, he would probably be in town and people would have spotted him. That's just my take. We'll have to see. So ultimately, I just hope and think they still are going forward with the movies. I do feel that Andrew Lincoln will be in the States probably March or April to start filming. Yeah, Beaver says Silas is Australian. So is Alicia Debnam Carey. She was able to fly from Australia to Texas to film. And as we know, she's in the first part of Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, which was filmed during the pandemic. So people can film. They can do it. But we'll see how it goes down. I know there's going to be a lot of people saying a lot of crazy things about the Rick movies, the Walking Dead World Beyond finale, the Fear the Walking Dead Season 7. There's going to be a lot of people making a lot of crazy claims that, and I'm sure they already have, which is kind of what people are doing. But right now it's all speculation. So I just don't know what is going to happen with the future of the Rick Grimes movies, the Walking Dead universe going forward, because I want to see the stuff and I still have hopes that they're going to make it, and I think they can make it and it can be rewarding. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't care about the movies, I don't care about this, I don't care about that. It doesn't make any sense to a lot of people, but I just want I want there to be closure, right? Every story, a good story that is, has a beginning, a middle, and an end. A start, the peak, big, awesome climax, and then the finish, the end. So are we going to finally have those things in the Walking Dead universe? Do they even care? Like, do people even care now that the Walking Dead is ending? Do the writers, the creators, the producers, do they even care about the fans? Where they're just going to string it along and get, I don't even know how many people watch it on AMC Plus, what are actually the viewership numbers? If it's, a couple million for The Walking Dead still, or because I know people watch. I don't know how the numbers react on AMC Plus, and I know there was a good deal for Black Friday on AMC Plus. Like you could get it for like I think it was $1.99 a month for I guess a year was what it was, but you could get $2 a month for AMC Plus. I don't know how long the term stipulated, but that's a pretty good deal for $2 to get early access to watch all the shows. And hopefully they give some rewarding stuff on there. And I do like the idea of having creative stuff for AMC Plus, draws you in to watch it. And then it comes to AMC, but you get early access on AMC Plus. So it draws you to get the membership, to get the streaming service. But The World Beyond is definitely something that I like it in, just like I guess Fear the Walking Dead as well. I do like the idea of spinoffs. I just think the execution has been poor. I think that they didn't plan it out. They wanted to, because like The Walking Dead in its peak, I don't know of a lot of shows that were better, had more viewers as of late. I mean, back in the day when there was only like 5 channels and you had to watch MASH and whatever the shows you were watching, there was millions and millions of viewers because there was only that. But now you have all these different services, and at the peak of the heyday of The Walking Dead, I think it was like 17, maybe 18 million viewers for season 5, I believe. I want to say season 5, episode 1 was the biggest viewed episode, or the highest viewed episode. And season 5, episode 1 is a great episode with Terminus and Carol and everything, and it was awesome. But I just don't know if it's never going to get back to that, and it's fine. And then they were like, that's probably around the same time that they were coming up with Fear the Walking Dead. Because if The Walking Dead at its peak is getting 17 million, hey, if we get half of that, 6, 7, 8, 9 million, we'll take it. 2, 3, 4, 5 million of a view of a show, that's great viewership. That's great numbers. But, I mean, if you think about it, you have The Walking Dead, you have a comic book basis, graphic novels, so you're going to have Rick and Lori and Shane and, Andrea and the farm and Herschel and Maggie and all the people from there, Glenn. So you have a basis for it. But if you're coming to come up with your own stuff, Fear the Walking Dead, brand new concept, do whatever you want. World Beyond, brand new concept. Do whatever you want. And you roll out this stuff. Sometimes people come up with stuff and they think it's great, and it's not. Or some people come up with stuff and they think it's terrible, and people love it, and everything in between. I just feel like the family dynamic drama in both shows, because I think you want to have, okay, you have the mom, you have the dad, you have the stepdad, you have the son, you have the daughter, you have the dysfunctional family. People can relate. But it's a zombie apocalypse. This isn't the WB where we're trying to have like Dawson's Creek and Seventh Heaven and whatever those shows were back in the day, right? Those are family drama shows showing you, hey kid, you're not alone. These characters have problems just like you. Well, this is a zombie apocalypse universe here. This isn't like, hey, you're going through high school, life is tough, I'm here for you, you know? And that's what those shows are for. And I grew up with those shows. There's nothing wrong with them. And there's probably shows like that today. But in a zombie apocalypse show, do we have enough problems to worry about? Food, safety, security, weapons, shelter, humans, the dead, famine, disease, all that. Plus, you know, and I like Nick. Nick and Daniel were probably my favorite characters on Fear the Walking Dead. Daniel, MIA. He hasn't really had much at all this season. Nick went away in season 4. You know, it's a shame because I like the character. The way they killed him off was a cheesy way again with Charlie and Nick, and John Dory came around and same thing with Dakota. And it's like, that's how they kill off characters like that. And I know that if you read the comics, Kirkman did the same thing with with Rick Grimes' character, and he wanted to show you that any character can be killed by, you know, a little kid, and anything is possible, and everything's a danger on there too. Of course, but I mean, come on, some things are ridiculous. Like, would you ever have Daryl Dixon be killed by a little kid? Like, that would be terrible. That would just be like, what am I watching here? Like, no, come on, nobody wants to see that. They've already done that so many times. But either way, The World Beyond is done. To me, it doesn't feel like a satisfying ending, and I'll elaborate on that in 3 minutes. But, you know, it's just what it is. They set up some things, had some connections that are kind of cool. But what did we really gather over the 20 episodes? That the Civic Republic is terrible. The Civic Republic military, CRM, is terrible. They take out their own people. And yeah, that's what we got out of it. And I'll talk about it again in a couple minutes. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's just, I don't mind. I don't regret watching it. It's just one of those things where it's something that, I don't know. So, but we'll have to see how it goes down. The future of the series and the spinoffs. But I don't want to see a spinoff of a spinoff. Like, The World Beyond was a spinoff of The Walking Dead, but what's going to happen with the survivors of that show? I think they have to go to the Rick movies. That's the only way it makes sense. But I don't want to see another show with these characters. Unless it's some major, like Rick is in it, or Michonne is in it. Like I don't want to see too many things more. It just seems like they're going to stretch it out and play it out and stretch it out and play it out and string us along and give us a little breadcrumb that makes us watch a couple more episodes. Like, there's nothing bigger than a slap in the face when they tease you with something and then don't explain it or don't make it satisfying enough. And it's like, I know that people watch The World Beyond expecting to see Rick, and it's just like, that never happened. Like, Rick Grimes never showed up, and he was never going to show up. But enough rumors and speculation and people making videos on YouTube to make you think that Rick Grimes was there or they have some BS connection with it draws people in. Makes people, what do they know? Where was Rick at? Nowhere. Nowhere to be seen. Which is frustrating to the fans too. So it's just annoying to do that. And so Rick Grimes is not in any of the episodes of The Walking Dead World Beyond at all. any of the 20 episodes. That includes the series finale too. So, all right, guys, we have a spoiler warning in effect coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler warning, guys. We're going to talk about some spoilers for the World Beyond series, I guess the series finale, and then Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 8. So spoiler warning. If you're watching on the replay, spoiler warning. Let's talk about it, guys. So Fear the Walking Dead, we'll get into it there. So Fear the Walking Dead, we expand upon the Alicia story when she was in the bunker. We see Alicia, we see Strand, we see Arnold, we see people inside the bunker, and the senator that Will used to work for is the walker that's tied to the tree that's in the center of the conference room that Strand and Will were in Season 7, Episode 1. So it's kind of cool callbacks to what it was this same season. So ultimately, we see Strand, we see Morgan, and then we see Dwight and Sherry. Mickey is mentioned, but we don't see her. So basically, Morgan and Alicia, Dwight, Sherry, and Alicia's people, they leave the area where they're at in the middle of nowhere because the red cloud of death is coming after them. Alicia leaves. Morgan, they go away. Dwight and Sherry go ahead. They search around the area. The 2 people are killed in Alicia's group by Strand's people. Strand and Alicia talk. Alicia is with Morgan, and the walker that is inside the bunker is the senator. And all of a sudden, now Alicia is talking about walkers know how to lead people. They remember things, which isn't true. And we still don't find out about Padre. We know Padre is an acronym. There's a folder of it in the bunker, and we don't find out much of it, even though the episode is titled Padre. So it's one of those things that it's still not explained. Padre is a place, but it's not South Padre Island. They actually say that in there. That'd be too easy. But Padre is a place that Alicia thinks the walker, the senator walker, he's a walker now. He's not going to give you directions to go find this place. But somehow Alicia and Will, they go back at flashback to the bunker. Will comes across Alicia and they talk, and Will was hiding in the bunker. He's not part of Teddy's group. Arnold and a bunch of people in the blue jumpsuits were part of Teddy's group. So someone grabs Alicia, takes her to be compost, to be bit by the walker, the senator walker that's tied to the tree. Arnold finds out that that's Alicia that was put there by Teddy. Alicia's supposed to lead them. She's trying to get out of there. She gets an axe, chops at the door, can't get it open. Will comes over and says that you can't get out that way, and Alicia knocks him over. We find out that Will is not with Teddy's group. He is hiding in there. He was there with the senator way back when, before Teddy's group got there. So Will is trying to find a way out. He finds a way out through the tunnels. So Alicia and Will and the senator Walker go into the tunnels. And they're crawling through the tunnels, and Alicia's crawling behind the Walker senator is like crawling not like super fast, but like fast enough. It's kind of funny. So then the bombs go off. The nuclear bombs go off, the warheads, and then stuff falls down and separates Will and Alicia and the Senator Walker. So it's funny because the stuff doesn't fall on Alicia or Will at all. It falls like in between them and blocks them, but that's kind of what happens. So the Walker, the Senator Walker, turns around somehow in the tunnels and starts coming back towards Alicia. But also Alicia, before that, did the guts trick, puts it on her clothes and did all that, but I guess the dust washed it off. So Alicia wakes up, Will wakes up, Will yells to Alicia. Alicia says, "Oh, I'm okay. I can't get to you, I can't do this." So she decides to put a barrier between the Senator Walker and make a thing with the rubble and the debris and the rocks. So she's like, "I think it's going to hold." Of course it doesn't. The Senator Walker like busts through it. It's like, he goes through the Walker or through the rocks and bites Alicia on her left forearm. So Alicia is bit. So that's great. So Alicia is dying, basically. She has a Walker bite. So we find out that Alicia was saved by Will, but also Alicia cuts her arm off with the gun barrel thing, and she somehow breaks it off and kind of stops the infection, but she waited too long to do that. So she still got infected. But she was in the bunker, Will was there looking after her. And Alicia wakes up. She was out for a week. She's still got a fever, but she's alive. She's not a walker. But she had her arm amputated, or part of her arm amputated. So she's got the little stub. But she's still sick. So we don't know if she's dying or she's infected, if she had, well, everybody's infected, but if she has septic shock or she needs medical attention. She tried antibiotics. She tried all this stuff. So it looks like Alicia's dying. And the red theory holds true because she had red stuff all over her outfit when we saw her, the red dust, the red smoke, the red stuff. It was just, the red theory strikes again if and when she dies. She's still alive, but she's dying. And I still believe that she's going to die this season. I think Strand should die and Alicia could die too. I don't know what that holds for season 8, but so, yeah, sorry, Mike, it was the 50 cal protective barrel on it that she uses as her weapon, which is kind of ridiculous, but that's her weapon. And so we see that. And so Alicia, when she's talking to Morgan, we see that Morgan and Alicia are talking, but Alicia's not giving any information. And she looks pale. She looked sick. She's not doing so well. But it could be just the zombie apocalypse fallout. But now that we know that she's dying, it makes sense. So Strand's people go after Morgan and Alicia. They shoot at them. They get away. They come to a place where they throw the Senator Walker in the water. It's kind of funny. But Morgan and Strand have their little conversation. Alicia and Strand have their conversation. Alicia jumps into the water. So does Morgan. They swim away. They make it out. They talk, but Alicia doesn't give too much information away. Strand comes around with his patrols. They have Morgan and Alicia, and then the Walker's there. Every time someone tries to kill it, they don't. Because Alicia says, no, don't do it. Don't kill him. Don't do this. And you're like, it's just a stupid walker. Why does she believe that this walker has memories and knows things? And Morgan says, I used to think that too. I believe that. And my son got killed. So he confirms that Dwayne is dead still. So the Dwayne alive theories just don't make sense anymore. And they haven't for a long time. But it's kind of more confirmation that Dwayne is gone, that Jenny, Morgan's wife, the walker version, bit him. And so, it kind of is a nice little callback. But Morgan and Strand talk and they kind of argue. And then Strand is like, I'm going to kill this walker, the Senator Walker. But Alicia steps in. And as she steps in to intervene, her left forearm is bit. And everybody's, oh, you're bit. You're bit. Oh, Alicia just got bit. But this is before we find out that she was bit in the tunnel. So I just kind of jumped the gun here that we find out. But Alicia was bit in the tunnel. So right when she got bit outside, we're like, oh man, she got bit. What are they going to do? And he's like, just get out of here. I'm fine. Get out of here. Get out of here. So Strand and his people leave. And they just leave him. They leave Morgan alive. They leave everything. They just leave. And you're like, what's going on here? But either way, Alicia, sitting by the fire, takes off her glove hand on her left hand. And she's got this prosthetic with her own bones, which they would be crushed when she cut it with the barrel, with the heat shield. But either way, it kind of looks like the guy from a Scary Movie when he's like, my strong hand. Like, it looks kind of funny. But she made like a Merle type hand, but with bone and metal. But either way, so Alicia's got one hand now. Her left hand is, chopped off. She had to save herself, and now we know that she's still sick from it, and she's not totally cured from it, like Aaron and, Merle and people. So they got the infection before, but this is a little different take on it. So Alicia, Morgan, they talk. We find out about the loss of hand, the prosthetic there. They get to the beacon. That's the light spinning, and Alicia's like, there it is. Yes, we found it, but we know that's Strand's place. So the beacon drew the attention of the Senator zombie. So that wasn't a sign, but I guess it was a sign that Alicia, Morgan, and the Senator Walker go to the tower. So also they use the guts trick again, and they walk there so they can walk among the dead and get there. Morgan and Alicia talk as they get to the tower. They don't know what to do. And then Strand and 2 patrol people come over to them as they're by the call box thing. And they talk. And Strand's like, you're alive. You're okay? He's like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So Alicia was going to go into the tower at this point. But she looks to her right, and there's the walker, Will, the Will Walker. I'm a Will Walker. So he's crawling and crawling. Just in like right angle, right spot. He's got his face all gnarled up. He's still alive somehow. And he looks at Alicia, and Alicia looks at Will, the walker. And she grabs the necklace that she gave Will. And she's like, you did this? And Strand comes clean. Strand says yes. Strand says, I killed him because it would hurt you. You know, and then he says, I killed him because he said he loved you. And I mean, how long did Will know Alicia? A week? Did you really fall in love with Alicia in a week? I guess so, right? But either way. So then Alicia says, how long can we stay at this submarine, Morgan? A week? 2 weeks? Okay, that's all it takes. Okay, I'm going to come back for this. I'm going to come back for the tower. I'm going to take everything you want. Strand says, okay, I'm going to defend it. Alicia says, okay, then we're going to war. So she just copies Negan. We're going to war. Another all-out war, right? All-out bore. We'll see. Hopefully the second half of season 7 is better than the first half, even though there were some good episodes in the first half. But the baby stuff and the crying stuff is just annoying. So that's how it ends. And we'll have to see where it goes next year with the second half of season 7. So overall, Alicia's back. It's going to be Alicia and Morgan and Luciana, Daniel, Wes, Charlie against Strand. And I would assume that Strand's people, like Howard and the patrols, will fight against Morgan and Alicia. Well, also Dwight and Sherry. But I don't know where they went, actually. But they were part of Alicia's group. So Strand's not going to have like John Dory Sr. and June and Wes. And Wendell. Oh, Sarah, I guess, is with Morgan. So it's going to be like a battle in there, too. So we'll have to see. Yeah, I know. Everybody. Yes, Alicia Debnam Carey is very attractive. She's beautiful. But, I mean, come on. you could be attracted to her, but he was saying that he was in love with her. Maybe he was in lust with her, but, I don't know. Alicia's very captivating. Easily to fall in love with, right? So we're going to have another all-out war. We've already had multiple lineups and stuff, so that's Fear the Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 8. So let's get to the world beyond. So let's talk about the series finale. So the Red Hat theory connected with Alicia a little bit. She didn't die yet, but I think she's going to die in the red mask and the red outfit, so it's there. But what does connect is Dennis. Dennis dies. He had a red pillow, a red blanket, red stuff all around his room. I thought he could have died last episode, but he dies this episode. So the red theory strikes again. So we lose Dennis. We also lose Huck. And that's it. Everybody else survives. So I thought they were going to go Rogue One style, where everybody just goes, trying to take the CRM down. But everybody lives, except for Huck and Dennis. So the episode starts and actually finishes with Monument Day, with our group of kids who are much older when they filmed this, by the way. Elton looks noticeably older. They talk when they're about to go out to the door, leave the boiler room area. They talk about what to do and the Tuffy stitch and how they are, and it could be this and it could be that. It starts with a callback or flashback, and it ends the same thing when they're about to open the door and actually walk out. So it kind of comes around full circle, and it's a nice little connection, but it's not that great too. So Mark Simmons says, Q&A, Bri, if she does die, does that mean Madison will not return? Yeah, there's nothing connection with Madison. It would be fitting in this universe that if Alicia died, Madison would show up to see her dying daughter, but there's still nothing to it for what it is too. So this person says, y'all need to stop comparing Fear to The Walking Dead. Fear is its own show. Well, actually, it's a spinoff. Morgan, Dwight, Sherry, they're from The Walking Dead. So you don't need to compare them too much, but you can compare them because it's in the same universe. So people can do whatever they want. And how about y'all stop telling people what to do? I mean, that doesn't make sense too. Come on, give me a break with that. Xmas Girl 304, do you think with all the survivors from the world beyond will show up in the RG movies, the Rick Grimes movies? I hope so, because it just makes sense. So let's talk about the episode a little bit more. So we basically see Will joins Felix and Dr. Bennett. They're kind of clearing out walkers, trying to get reunited. All the kids are together. Elton, Silas, Hope, and Iris are trying to get back to Elton's arm died. Elton's arm did die because he got bit. He didn't have his Tuffy stitch on, but he survived because we see him at the end missing his left arm. So it's kind of funny. Fear the Walking Dead season 7, we see Alicia lose her left forearm. Same thing, same episodes, or same day of the same episodes. Elton loses his left forearm. And I guess if you're right-handed, you want to lose your left forearm. That's for sure, because you want to keep your right hand. So, but the kids are killing the walkers, and they're trying to get back to the outpost to help Dennis and Huck. So Dennis and Huck are talking what to do, how to do it, blah blah blah. Huck has rigged all the storage units, or the shipping containers that have the green gas, the V gas, to blow up. She rigs it with explosives and a timer using her watch that her dad gave her. Well, Elizabeth Kublik gave her from her dad. So it's actually, the watch is connected with that, and it actually blows up later on. And Huck has a pretty good fight scene with Jadis, and Jadis actually kills Huck and stabs her with one of the I don't know if it's an S-pole that she uses or it's just a knife. But as they're fighting with the metal stick things, they're exploding the walker heads. It's a pretty good fight scene. Jadis actually talks about, because Huck says, you traded someone that was valuable. That's how you got into the CRM. And she says, yes, I traded him. He was an A, but I put him as a B to save his life. I owed him as that. So she changed it, and she's talking about Rick. And that's really the only main connection that we have about Rick here. And so hopefully that comes down with the movies, and that comes out to that too. So Mike Allen says, Q&A, do you think you will lose AI if zombies come, Bri? I don't think I'll lose anything, but hopefully not. If the zombies come, I will be trying to stay alive in any way, shape, or form for sure too. So, but so back to Dennis, Huck, and the kids show up with the antibiotics, and they give Dennis the antibiotics. Huck says, you guys got to get out of here. The bombs that they're trying to do, the C4 type of explosives, the charges that they set up, they're saying that the detonation is, being blocked by the CRM. And just like the walkie-talkies and the radios, you can't have correspondence because it's not talking about it. It's Yomasta. Did you hear Jenner talk about the variants? I will talk about that at the end. That is a post-credit scene. I will definitely talk about Dr. Jenner and the variant cohorts. It's kind of crappy and cheesy in my opinion that they're bringing that around, but that's what we get with this. So again, I'll talk about the post-credit scene. So Huck tells the kids to get out of there. Silas says, I'm going to stay with Dennis and help him because he needs help. So they stay. Dennis hears the helicopter coming. Silas says, I can't let you go. I can't do this. What are we going to do? We can fight them off. Dennis says, we're not going to do this. You need to kill me and act like you did it because I'm a traitor and you can do that. And Silas says, what if I don't believe me? Blah, blah, blah. Well, Dennis says, I like Dennis. Dennis was a very minor character. Again, I like the minor characters. Percy, Dennis, Percy's uncle, Elton is a minor. He's a main character, but on the minor character side, Hope and Iris are really the main characters of the show, in my opinion. But so Silas ends up shooting Dennis. And then the helicopter people come, take Silas, capture him. Silas and Silas and Jadis have a conversation. Jadis likes Silas. Silas ends up becoming a soldier. He goes to be a cadet, At the end of the episode, he's wearing the CRM armor. He has the little mask on, and he puts the mask down. So he becomes a soldier of the CRM, which is kind of interesting. But again, this is the last season. This is it. There's nothing to it unless we go to the movies, and Silas could be a CRM soldier, maybe where Rick is. That would make sense. So I'm hoping it all connects. So Silas is a CRM soldier, but Jadis, after Silas is captured, before Silas is captured, she fights Huck. They have their little showdown. They kind of joust and do this and fight and have their conversations and say this and that, blah, blah, blah. But Jadis is a villain. She's not playing the CRM. She's actually full CRM. She's team CRM. So they fight. Huck ends up getting stabbed. Falls down. Any last regrets, blah, blah, blah. Tell my mom, do this, do that. It was my pop gave me this. Well, I'm on my way to see him now. Tell her that it didn't work, blah, blah, blah. And then as Huck is passed out, Jadis looks at the suntan that Huck was wearing on her left forearm. There's no watch. Jadis is like, we got to get out of here. It's going to blow. Because she realized that the watch is not there. It's probably rigged to the bombs. They get into the helicopter and they fly away. The CRM green smoke stuff explodes, is gone. And Huck is gone, Dennis is gone, and that's really all we lose, like I said before. Jadis flies back, talks with Silas, bing, bada, boom, there you go. So as Elton, Hope, and Iris are walking, killing the walkers, they need to hurry up, they're killing walkers. Hope is about to get bit. Elton sticks his arm there. The walker bites Elton's forearm. They kill the walker. Elton's like, He's not doing so well. The perimeter people, Indira, Asha, and I think Felix roll up in a CRM Humvee. The Indira shoots all the walkers with the 50 cal. It's pretty cool. She shows up and saves the day. Before that, Felix fights the CRM soldier that said, if I see you again, I'm going to kill you. They have a showdown. They fight. Felix opens up the gate of walkers behind him. You see that coming. The soldier guy kills all the walkers. Felix puts two S-poles together, makes a Darth Maul double saber, kills a walker behind him, stabbing here, fighting around, twirling around. He's trying to be like Darth Maul, ends up killing the soldier, and then he gets in the Humvee and they save the kids. So they're out. They kill a bunch of CRM soldiers. Will is back with Felix, and they're fine. Jadis goes and arrests Dr. Bennett. No, Jadis goes and arrests Elizabeth Kubelik. So Jadis was ordered by Major General Beale. I can't want to say Dr. Bennett, but he doesn't really do much in this episode at all. But Major General Beale gives Jadis the authority to arrest Elizabeth Kubelik. She does, saying your daughter was a traitor. You did this. You did nothing to stop it. You knew this was happening. You did nothing to stop it. So Elizabeth Kubelik is captured, put in jail in the wellness center. Maybe that's where Rick was. Maybe Rick was there. But again, Rick's not there. So maybe we'll see Elizabeth Kubelik, Silas in the Rick movies. I hope so. Makes sense. But we don't see anything there. So that's really that and that. And then they go to a mall. They hide in the mall. They save Elton's arm. They save Elton, chop his arm off, and you have medical doctors there, doctor scientists, so they do it easily. He's not doing, he's not doing well, but he's not doing bad, so they're kind of worried about it. But they have antibiotics, they have supplies to do all that. Iris comes up with the plan that she's going to go warn Portland with the perimeter people. The perimeters are going to go with Iris to go to Portland. When they show Portland, to me it looks like Portland, Oregon. So some time has gone by. They made it there. They warned them. But you don't see the Portland, Oregon sign if you've ever been to downtown or know what I'm talking about. But it looks kind of like downtown Portland, Oregon. I just don't know where it was, too. So, but again, then as we see, Iris puts up the binoculars as she looks downtown. She has a weapon. You see Asha, Iris, and then Elton comes with a different weapon. He has a right forearm guard, which looks pretty cool, and he's missing his left forearm. They kind of chopped it below, right around the elbow, right above the elbow. So he has this little nub, and Iris Elton, Asha, and the rest of the perimeter people are going to Portland. They made it there. Dr. Bennett and Hope are working on different scientific stuff with the yeast, the breakdown, and they're doing work, and the yeast is breaking down the walkers and just chomping them up really good. So the scientific approach is doing well there. And then, we see the flashback of Elton, Silas, Hope, and Iris in the boiler room at Memorial Day, or Monument Day. I was saying Memorial Day, at Monument Day. And they open the door, and then it says The Walking Dead World Beyond. And that's it. And that's it. And that's the end of that. Then there's a post-credit scene. The big thing with it is that you see there's like a ball in a box, and then there's a beaker that someone puts in there. The person puts their bag down, takes their laptop out, opens up some different storage things. There's a bunch of hard drives. The person looks it up. They're copying all this stuff from the hard drives. But if you notice, it says copy, C-O-P-I-E, not C-O-P-Y, the English word. It's French. So it's copy, and they're copying all this different stuff. The person opens up their laptop and watches a video. It's Dr. Jenner from the first season of Walking Dead. It's a recorded message that he's talking to someone about, what they did. And remember, France was the first place they talked about that they made some strides there, and then trying to do this, trying to do that. So you don't know who this person is. It's a woman scientist, or I guess it's a scientist. And then as Dr. Jenner is talking about the strides that they made and this and that and blah, 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 someone comes behind the person, and it's a guy, and he has his gun pointed at the person. And he's speaking in some language, and it's in, subtitles. But then she says, oui. So they're French. This is in France, evidently, or at least these people are French. They came back to the scientist lab, so I guess this is in France. So they're talking about different things. He says, you came back here, you should have left, you never should have came back. What you guys started, what you guys did. So did the virus start in France, or was it first there? It's left ambiguous, but it kind of makes it sound like this was man-made or manufactured or just happened by circumstance in France. We thought it was space spores or something, bacteria or something this, something that. Again, they're clouding it because we really don't know much. So it's definitely something that is left open-ended, but not so much. They give us some answers. The guy ends up shooting the scientist, and then he leaves. And so the scientist turns, becomes a walker. But on the transmission, Dr. Jenner says, well, I want to hear more about those variant cohorts that you talked about last time. We haven't seen that here at the CDC in America, but we've heard about it what you talked about there in France. So there's a variant cohorts of a new variant of zombie, Walker. As the Walker that was shot, the scientist lady, comes back pretty quickly. And she gets up and she's moving really fast and she's smacking on the door and banging on the door. And she's really going crazy on the door, kind of like I Am Legend type of zombies. So the variants are fast, quick, stronger. It just seems like there's a little new type of thing, which to me is cheesy, stupid, drawing it out. Oh, the Walker's virus is evolving. It's making this, it's making that, So it's like, come on, we don't need more of the lore and the story. We want a connection with Rick. We want a connection with something there. So the big variant thing was Dr. Jenner, not something connected with Rick going forward. It's going backwards to connect with more of the lore with that. So we watched 20 episodes to find out about Huck, Dr. Bennett, Elizabeth Kublik, Hope, Iris, Silas, and Elton. And Huck killed off. Dennis killed off. Percy killed off. Percy's uncle killed off. We never get to meet Major General Beale. We see Jadis return, which is kind of a cool connection. Elizabeth Kublik is arrested for all the stuff that went through, all that stuff. But they killed the campus colony in Omaha, which, there's nothing more with that. It's just Portland is kind of connected with it, but who kind of cares? We don't have any connection with Portland at all. Hope is working on breaking down the walkers. So are they going to be able to, take out the walkers, but then the new variants are there, so now they're fast? They're like, that's another thing added to this. Like, we don't need more, more circumstances, we need resolution of things. We don't need more stuff added. We need stuff taken away, in my opinion. So the way it ends, everybody survives besides Huck and Dennis. We have people on the CRM side. We have people back home working as scientists. We have people, it would be really cool if Asha, Iris, the perimeter people, and Elton come across Michonne. If Michonne went to Portland, that would be amazing. But there's no need. There's nothing there. It's left open-ended. I wouldn't mind seeing these characters again if it was connected with Rick and the movies and even The Walking Dead. Like, we don't need more stuff, more branches of the tree. Let's trim the tree and get down to what it's nice and pruned. Keep it looking nice. Don't add more things to it. It's just my opinion, too. So, I don't know. Beaver says, how is the French variant going to get to the U.S.? Well, viruses adapt, evolve, mutate. So eventually it could be here. It doesn't kind of fit unless, if Jenner is talking about the variant, that's season 1. So the variant's been around. If we have people that were in France made it to the United States and vice versa, if people start traveling more, maybe the CRM ends up bringing it over by accident, by mistake, with the walkers they brought over. But again, I don't write for the show, so I don't know, too. So Dawn says, my theory, Rick is in a cell block next to Elizabeth with Silas being a soldier. He helps free them. Yeah, no, I think Silas would be able to help people and be connected with that. I think that makes sense. But again, that's what we got. And The World Beyond is not going to be any more episodes. So that's it. So I don't know. Yeah, Michael says, what if that big group is Portland Michonne sees? Yeah, I think that could be cool. But again, a lot of times, myself and you guys and the fans and YouTubers all around, we have great theories that would make sense. And we don't see it ever. It never happens. So I don't know, guys, but that's my time. I went a little bit over. Thank you guys for being here. I'll be back next Sunday. We'll be talking about a bunch of things. Hopefully, we'll talk about more of this stuff. And once we get trailers and stuff, we'll break it down for you. But thank you guys. I truly appreciate it. You taking the time to be here. I'll be back next Sunday. And like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And if you can, support the PT channel any way that you can by liking, sharing the videos. Tell your friends, tell your family, donating, become a patron, become, any way you can. That truly helps out. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories. I'll be back next Sunday talking about the Walking Dead universe as a whole. Enjoy. Be safe. If you're back to work on Monday, I know it sucks when you're on vacation, but I'll be back next week. And I'll be posting videos all week. Thank you, guys, and see ya.